Look, man, this is Diverse Hits Radio from the ground up with DJ Ray, your girlfriend's favorite DJ, grandma's favorite DJ, but most importantly, I told y'all I am God's favorite DJ. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, today we got an exclusive interview with Alexia Wright. If you don't know what's going on over here, guess what, y'all? She got a lot going on. She is the youngest in charge, just in case you did not know. Look, she is young and doing big things out in Atlanta. So, look, she is in the building to express and explain to y'all how she got to where she got to. And I'm here to help y'all see her through. You get what I'm saying? Normally, I don't get into people's business. I told y'all that. I don't get into people's business because I'm just not nosy. I got too much going on. But today, it's a special person in the building. So with no further ado, I cannot speak for nobody better than they can speak for themselves. So Alexia Wright, would you do me a favor and introduce yourself to the diverse world?
Yes, hey guys. My name is Alexia Wright. A lot of people call me the Airbnb queen. I am currently running over about 20 properties in Atlanta, and yeah, that's me.
No, that it is more to it, y'all. She is doing more than just running properties. You get what I'm saying? But first, we not even gonna get into the Airbnb game yet. I want the people to get a feeling of who you are. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So first off, I want you to describe to me in one word the childhood that you had. One word. How would you describe your childhood in one word?
Describing my childhood, I ain't never been asked that before. That's a good question.
Because we go through a lot. I'm gonna give you time because tell people I'm gonna give you time. I knew I was gonna mess you up with that one.
Yeah.
So our childhood, we go through a lot. We go through a lot of trials and tribulations. Whether that's not having both parents there, whether our parents aren't in a position to give us the knowledge that we need. I want to know what it describes you through your childhood to where you overcame any of those obstacles.
So let me explain my childhood. So for me, honestly, I had three parents. I had my mom, my dad. I had my dad till I was about 10, 11. And then my mom and dad separated, and my mom ended up getting married down the line. So, but we were all still a family. So I had a mom, a dad, and I had a stepdad. You know what I mean? Luckily, my stepdad and my dad, they get along. They get along really well. Like, my dad will be at my mom's house chilling, and nobody think nothing. My stepdad, he a super cool dude, like the coolest dude I ever met. So he don't be tripping about my dad being at the house, you know what I mean? Whenever we have like family functions, but my parents are extremely accommodating. Like anything that I wanted to do, like if I say I wanted to do it, they were on top of it. Like I traveled the world literally, like while I was in school. I've been out the country over 13 times. I've been to over 30, 40 countries. Like I've literally done it all, So my parents were extremely accommodating. Like they did whatever I wanted to do. Like I was optimistic about it. They were with it.
Interesting. I did a little research on you. And speaking of your stepdad, he was an entrepreneur, right?
Correct.
And he was the one who influenced you to, not one of the influence, let's say that, one of the influence besides yourself that you saw that made you want to get into entrepreneurship.
Right.
Can you explain to us what did you see that made you just be like, you know what, that's something I want to try to do? Because normally we was told you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to do that. What made you go into the entrepreneur route or starting your own wave of doing something?
So for me, my stepdad, he's dad to me. Okay, so I'm just gonna say dad. I don't call him stepdad, but that's who he is. I didn't want to confuse y'all. So I seen my dad like hustle. My dad was a hustler. You know what I mean? So my mom was a hustler before my dad even came around. My mom was a hustler. My mom she gonna go get it. She don't care what it is. She gonna go get it. So I just knew, like, my attitude, I always been kind of dominant, and I just knew I didn't want to work for nobody. It wasn't like something in specific I wanted to pursue. I just knew that I didn't want to work for nobody. That was my main thing. So just growing up, like, I always been about my business. I always worked. I've been working since I was 14. People don't even know that.
And what was your first job at?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I worked at Chick-fil-A for 6 years, from 14 forward.
And is that one of the reasons why you like, yo, this 8-hour thing ain't vibing for me, you feel me? I'm about to go ahead and switch the role. Is that what made you get into entrepreneurship, or what was it working in the corporate world, I consider.
Yeah.
But that made you be like, I don't want to go to the 9 to 5 game. I want to go to the entrepreneur game. It's 24/7 to me.
Right.
So what made you get into that from working from Chick-fil-A?
So, you know what? I used to always clash with my bosses. Like, they used to be trying to tell me what to do, but I used to run the store. You know what I mean? So, like, it had become a point in time to where I was a certified team leader. So I would travel opening up Chick-fil-A's. You know, I was teaching operators how to do what they're supposed to be doing. I'm talking about people who haven't even been working longer than I have at Chick-fil-A. I knew Chick-fil-A like the back of my hand. Like, I love going to work. Like, I just love going to work. So me and my bosses used to always clash. Like, the last location I worked at was at the airport. I worked at Hartsfield. That's the busiest Chick-fil-A in the whole entire world. The busiest. I'm talking about line down the hall, down the terminal. So when they took me from corporate, they put me at the airport. And when I got to the airport, my boss, she was a lady. She was a school teacher. She used to work at Chili's over 15 years ago, and then she was a school teacher for like 8 years. And then they just brought her back because they didn't have anybody. So, and that's where I got fired, just from the BS that was with her. Like, she just felt like I was trying to step on her toes, but I knew they had brought me to this location for a reason. You know what I mean? So at that point in time, like, I just used to hate. At that point, when I felt like I was hating Chick-fil-A, I knew it was time for me to go, because I had been already working there for 5 years. I was like, I used to love going to work. So when I was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm tired. That is when I dipped out. But before I even got fired from Chick-fil-A, I had already started my own lingerie line. So and that's my stepdad is the one who did it for me. Like, he gave me the money.
Let me slow you down. I did a little research, so I know. At what age? That's very big. What age did you start your lingerie line?
I was how old was I?
If I'm not mistaken, I think you said 14.
No. I was like 17,
17?
18.
Okay.
I was graduating high school. I
Still in
started
high
working
school.
at Chick-fil-A at 14.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like 17 or 18 when I started the lingerie line, right before I graduated high school. And then my dad was like, "You're not starting a lingerie line." That's what he told me. But it wasn't like lingerie like that. It was more so like sleepwear. Okay. It was cute. So I started work, like, I kept working, and I kind of like slacked off on my business. So when I got fired, I just went forward with the business. Like, I just went full-fledged with it. And then after the lingerie line, I got into credit. So I had my own credit company. And then after credit, I got into real estate. And that is how I got into the Airbnb industry. So it's been a lot of people, and it's so crazy because me and my boyfriend was just reading this blog a couple weeks ago. Like, sometimes I'll just go on Google and search me. And yes, you can Google me.
You can't Google her, okay? Google, YouTube, Instagram her, whatever you want to. You can't do that, I promise you, by the way. Go ahead.
No, I was playing, but no, I really went and Googled me. And it was somebody said something on the blog that were like, you know, where did this girl come from? You know, like, did she grow up with rich parents, or did she come from a kingpin? And I'm like, dang, like, people, and it's so crazy because I told you, DJ Ray, I said, I've never really told my story before. And we was literally like sitting in the house, and I'm like going through my camera roll. Like, I really got real documentation of me working at Chick-fil-A, me getting up early. And then in the midst of that, I'm in college. I was going to Georgia State, and I ended up getting pregnant, and I became a single mom, all while still trying to run my business, trying to grow my business.
Definition of no excuses.
Yeah, I had none. I had no excuses. Like, I still don't.
I have a motto that I stand by. It's, I have not failed. I found 10,000 ways that did not work, right? So okay. I want to know your 10,001 way that you found that it did start working for you.
Okay, one more time.
I have not failed. I found 10,000 ways that did not work. What is the 10,001 way that you found and it did start working for you?
In reference to business?
Anything, life, you feel me? Let's go to business. Since we're talking business today, let's go to business.
Okay. Being consistent. That's number one. Like, that is something I could have stopped a long time ago. I ran into hella roadblocks. Like, I've run into hella, like, speed bumps. You know what I mean? Like, hella hiccups. I could have been stopped a long time ago. I don't see anybody, like, y'all, if you want to do something and you want to go far, stay consistent. That's the extra one way. Like, I've learned it. And sometimes I can say that now because I get discouraged all the time. Like, sometimes I be like, man, I'm sick of working. Tell my boyfriend, like, man, I'm tired. Like, I don't feel like getting up today. Thanks. And I had become, if you look on my page, I had got into a space to where I'm like, this is not me. You know what I mean? Like, I went through a depression mode, so I'm like, this is not me. And I just felt through. I was like, I don't want to work. I don't really want to do Airbnb no more. And at one point in time, I actually did I lost my love for it. And I didn't want to do it no more.
Why is that? People want to know, why is it you possibly may have lost your love for it?
It was a lot. So at the time, my volume, my units, I was getting more units. I was acquiring more units. And I didn't have the necessary resources to run my business how it needed to be ran. So with Airbnb, you got to have housekeepers.
Okay.
And housekeeping was my biggest downfall. You know, like I was having 11, 12 checkouts a day, and I don't got nobody to clean. Maybe 2 people. I got checkout at 11. I got check-in at 3. I need 11 units clean. Okay, cool. Not even all 8 got. Not even all 11 got to be clean. Say I got 5 check-ins. I at least need these 5 clean by 3 o'clock. So I'm running through housekeepers, and it's so crazy because the money that my housekeepers were making was so good. I just couldn't keep nobody because of the volume. Remind you, I'm still in school, and I'm still a new mom. So it's easy for me to get out and clean, but I got to go to class.
Thanks.
And I got my baby waiting for me.
And what year was
so
this?
Crazy.
What year was this?
This was 2019. This is 2019. I lost my love for it. What was that, babe? Like 2020? 2020. Yeah, that was 2020, the year before COVID. So I was going through these tribulations in 2019. You know, like, and I was by myself at this time. You know what I mean? Like, me and my parents weren't really on. We weren't really speaking often. I just felt alone. I just felt lonely. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. And I'm like, I'm young. I'll figure it out. But God had something different. So I'm here. And, you know, I was like one of the first people that did Airbnb. Like, that's why people call me the Airbnb queen, because I'm an original for real. Like, I've been doing this.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. She was the first one to do the Airbnb. That's why they call her the GOAT and the queen, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. So yeah, I've been doing Airbnb for a really long time, and I be in the field for real. Like, I really used to be in my units. Like, I really used to have to go clean up and go make beds and really be in the field. So, you know, now, what was that, 2020? One day I was just, my assistant and my housekeeper, they got into an argument, and both of them called me. The housekeeper called me crying, and she was like, she can't do this no more. She was like, she couldn't do this no more. And I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? I told my boyfriend, I said, look, I'm done. That was my last straw. I was out of there, DJ. I was like, I'm not doing Airbnb no more.
So I have a question. This guy, his bar sticks with me, and it's like every day, like, this gotta stick with me, right? He says, Mama said, treat the janitor like the boss, because everybody play a role to keep you from taking a loss, right? So housekeeping in this situation actually made you take a loss at some point, right? How did you handle that?
At some point, it was, y'all got to figure it out, because I was in school. And you know what my mom said? The reason why I said stay consistent is because I knew I wasn't going to quit school. I was already making $100,000 plus in my business. I was making good money. Jeez. You know what I mean? So the money wasn't the problem. I could have been dropped out of college, but I had a goal. I knew, and I had a lot of people waiting on me for a downfall because I had a baby. Nobody was expecting me to get pregnant. So when I had Amori, I knew people was waiting for me to fall. And I'm talking about the closest people to me waiting for me to fall.
Is that one of your whys as to why you worked so hard to become who you are today?
That's my motivation. Like, don't ever look for me to fail. I'm talking about mama, sister, daddy, brother, nobody. Don't ever look for me to fail. And at that point in time, it was so bad. It was the closest people to me. It was so bad to where that was my real motivation. You know, like, that was like my get up and go. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth. It's unfortunate, but that's what it was. You know, so with the housekeeping, I'm like, look, y'all got to figure it out, because I'm not dropping out. It's been a lot of times I wanted to stop going to school. Like, I used to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to school. I'll be done by 1 o'clock. And then I end up losing my car. So my boyfriend used to have to pick me. I used to drive his car to school. He'll drop me off, or I'll catch an Uber, and he'll pick me up every single Tuesday and Thursday.
That's not what too many people do. And since we on the topic of, you know, in a sense, relationships, I want to know, how are you paving a way in a sense where you're like, yo, the normal way of society it's like INDEP. Everybody want to be independent, you get what I'm saying? But I've seen you with my own eyes not take that route. I've seen you put in to your man, you get what I'm saying? What makes you be that way? Is it your childhood experiences? You seen your mother do something for your father or stepfather? What is it that makes you put into the man to uplift him since he's with you?
Right. So I wasn't always like that. Like, don't get it twisted.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't always like that. I was that independent, bullheaded woman because I didn't have a choice. Like, any man that I ran into, I had to teach him. Like, I had to show you. I had to wash your money up. You know what I mean? Like, that's what was going on. So I didn't have nobody to lead me. I had my parents, but we talking about companionship. The dude that I was dating at the time, like, I had to show that nigga everything. Like, it was nothing that he could really teach me, and he was older than me. So that then told me, like, you know, okay, I realized, I said, Alexia, okay, you're ahead of the curve. And I accepted that. So I didn't have no choice but to be that bullheaded, independent woman. I didn't have a choice but to be strong. So when I met my boyfriend, it was different. Like, I was like that for a long time, but honestly, when you run into a real man, you ain't got no choice but to step back. And, you know, he used to tell me, like, look, if you wanna be a nigga, like, you don't need me. And I needed him. So I had to step back and I had to play my role. And when I did that, everything was fine for me. Like, the housekeeping company, the day I was gonna quit, who picked up the housekeeping company? He did. He didn't have to do that. Who started the team? He did. And he went cleaning today. He didn't have to do that. So I'm gonna say that I say that to say it's not for everybody.
It's not.
Being uplifting men, and this is to women, uplifting every single man is not gonna happen for every single man. And you can't try to make a man. I didn't have to force him to do anything. Anything that he did it because he wanted to. I didn't bribe. I don't bribe with money. I don't do none of that. I don't have to. He did it because he wanted to. So I wasn't always like that. I pour into him because he poured into me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I would be right now if it wasn't for him. I'm talking about, like, it's been days where I'm like, look, I'm done with Airbnb. I want to find something else. Like, or I need to figure out who I am. You know, like, or I don't really know what I like to do.
I've seen y'all cleaning together, riding in the moving truck together. What gives y'all that bond that you like, yo, we gonna stick together and ride this out no matter what?
I think that we're just compatible. Like, we've been two peas in a pod since we met. And we got the same goals.
Okay.
Let me say that. We got the same goals. So, like, we talk about, when I say we've never had a disagreement when it came to our businesses, for real, like, we disagree, but it's never an argument. We always agree to disagree. So it's never been to a point in our aside from our personal relationship, our businesses never fail. If I'm mad, I'm gonna still pick up, like, you going to clean up? You got the box truck? Did you get the insurance taken care of? You know what I mean? So that's just how we operate. I can't really say ABC in reference to that. That's just us, you know, like.
Teamwork make the dream work.
That's a fact. We know that. So, like I said, we just got the same goals. So you got to make sure that whoever you with, y'all got the same plans in life. Y'all got the same goals, and y'all are on the same page ultimately.
Let me ask you a question. When you say same goals, right? Is that something that before y'all met, right? Y'all were doing similar things, or is something that y'all talked about and created and said, yo, this is what we're going to do together moving forward in unison?
That's a good question. So, no, we were doing two separate things.
Okay.
He had a kids party business, so he wasn't doing nothing like what I'm doing.
Okay.
And, you know, he seen me hustling, like, he seen me working. If whatever I needed, like, anything I needed help with, whether it was Amori, whether it was school, like, whatever, he was there. So, at the time, right, like, when we met, we weren't even on that type of time. We were friends for, like 7 or 8 months, probably more than that. So we didn't kick nothing off with no business. We didn't start talking business until down the line, you know, and that's why I said the goals have to be the same. They have to be compatible, because we didn't start talking about that until months down the line. I was telling him, he was like, I'm gonna get an Airbnb. You know how long it took him to get an Airbnb?
Explain.
1.5 years.
Sheesh. And why is that?
I don't know.
Is it the understanding, the knowledge? Is it understanding the knowledge or him being hard-headed, already being into something that he's already doing? Why did it really take a year and a half? Because a year and a half, depending on what the situation is not necessarily a long time. Especially if somebody got something going on already. Right. You got to think they already in their mind of doing something already. Why did it take a year and a half?
But see, the thing with him was he had started the housekeeping. He seen what I was doing. He knew it made money. So he just had to know, like, I had to prove myself to him. Let me say that. I had to, and a lot of women won't be egotistical and not say it. I had to prove myself to him. And I knew, I said, I got something for him. So, like, I was so patient with him, though. Like, I was super patient with him. I was like, okay, cool. Like, he used to go to the units with me. He was like, I'm going to get my Airbnb. I was like, I'm going to get, I never came up off of him getting an Airbnb. No. Never came. So now, he take up the whole entire payroll, his units. His units take up the most property management. His units get booked the most, and that's just what it is. And you know what? I've never invested more than $10,000 into an Airbnb. He came in. He said $15,000 for his first unit. No, that was the second unit. $15,000 out the gate. And
that was something y'all did together, or he did on his own?
No, that's his. He don't got nothing to do. Okay. I don't make no money off of that. All I do is run it. I mean, he need to pay for property management, but he don't pay for nothing.
That may be possibly on the way. You said you got a trick for him, so possibly you use another one, and it's on the way. You get what I'm saying? What made you get into Airbnb? I'm gonna tell you something. In college, right? I was at Savannah State in 2011, and I learned about Airbnb and Alibaba at the time. So I'm like, okay, what are these companies? I'm like, all right, what is this? Then you took advantage of it in 2016. I still haven't. And me knowing what I know back, I actually have a degree in business and computer information systems. So I'm like learning this stuff. But I never took advantage of it. You did. What made you get into Airbnb?
So I got into Airbnb. Well, initially I was into real estate. So what I did was, my mentor is Greg Parker. His name is Big Business on Instagram. I bought a house up in Cleveland, Ohio with him. And that is when I joined his one-on-one. I went to a few of his real estate classes when he came down to Atlanta. I even flew up to Philly like twice to take 2 of his classes. And I joined his one-on-one program. I bought a house, and after I was feeding myself with knowledge because I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do. You know, like, I knew I wasn't going to go work for nobody. So I was like, I got to figure this out. I've always been into real estate, though. I love, like, beautiful real estate. I've always been into that. So, like, after I left Greg, when I started learning about the real estate industry, I realized what I learned was there's a difference between short-term renting and long-term renting. So what I had started with was long-term renting, which is I got this house, and I'm gonna put it on the market, and I need a tenant. All right, this tenant gonna sign at least for 12 months. All right, you're gonna make $1,000 a month. I'm gonna make $1,000 a month off this one tenant.
$12,000 a year.
$12,000 a year off this one tenant. All right, check this. The other side is the short-term renting, and this is where I used to read books. Like, I was just so knowledgeable. Like, I wanted to know so much more information.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Hold your thought, though. Give us a couple of books.
I like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Greg has a book that I read. His name is Big Business on Instagram, y'all. Greg has a book that I read. Those are my 2 main ones, for real. Okay. Like, those are my 2 main books. So, and then you know who else? What is his name?
While you're thinking of that, I like a book called Think and Grow Rich.
What is it called?
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
By Napoleon Hill. And that book is a must read. You got to read that book, I promise you. It changed my whole perspective on moving in life. You get what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if you thought of it yet.
Yes, his name is Kenny.
Okay, there we go.
His name is Kenny. And I used to watch Kenny Page, and I'm like, dang, these people making all this money in the real estate world. You know, so back to the short-term renting. So you making $12,000 a month, a year, $1,000 a month. Airbnb, you can make this $1,000 in 3 days, 4 days, literally.
How?
So say I got the same house, right? Instead of putting a long-term tenant, I need a short-term tenant. So you might book. I'm gonna stage this house up. Matter of fact, this could be on Airbnb. This whole little engineering setup can be on Airbnb. But just say I put this house on Airbnb, right? You come book it for $200 a night. Say you book it for 4 nights. That's $800, and you got to pay $100 cleaning fee. That's $900. That's in a 4-day reservation.
Put me on game.
So like a lot of my units, the minimum I charge is like $150 a night. So let's just say $200 because housekeeping is let's use my boyfriend's units.
Mm-hmm.
The housekeeping is $100 a unit, right? And then his units are like $200 a night. So say somebody booked for 5 days, that's $1,000 already. He done made in 5 days. Guess what? We got 25 days left in the month. Rent only $2,000. Okay, say rent 21, 22 with bills, $2,200. I got 5 more days to make my rent.
It's true.
The rest of this, 20 days is profit, and this is happening every month for 12 months. It don't make sense. It only makes sense to do it the short term rental way. So let me tell you the downside to that. A lot of people don't understand the maintenance it takes to run a short term rental. When you got a long term tenant, you might not even talk to this person at all. You might have a pipe burst every blue moon. You don't have to talk to them, but we got to be on the app every day. We gotta talk to guests every day. We gotta make sure if keys get missing, we gotta replace them. So the maintenance is a little bit different, but the risk is worth the reward. I would rather go work for my money and make big bank than being lazy and I ain't making that much money. So that is how I got into the real estate industry. I mean, that is how I got into the Airbnb industry specifically, and that was years ago. So now it's completely different. There's a lot of different things that I don't use that I see other people use just off of my experience. And what works for me works for me. So I ain't the person that's fixing nothing that ain't broken.
Don't broke if it. What they say, don't fix it if it ain't broke. I want to break the ice a little bit and do a little trivia, a little business trivia. So okay. I want you to tell me which one you choose.
Okay.
Short term versus long term leasing.
Short term leasing.
And why is that?
You make more money.
Airbnb versus VRBO.
Airbnb.
And why is that?
Airbnb is a more stable platform. It has a better foundation. If something happens, it's easier for you to file claims. It's just a more established platform, and then it brings a lot more traffic than VRBO too. VRBO is more so for like vacation rentals. Like those houses in Mexico and those houses on the beach. That is more so VRBO's algorithm. So Airbnb for sure.
Airbnb for sure. Okay. Music or art?
Music.
Atlanta or Miami?
Atlanta.
Let me ask you a question. Leaving out of high school, degree or business?
Are you saying what I did or which one would I have
Which
preferred?
one? Now knowing what you know, what would you choose? Going out of high school, business or degree?
I'm here to give advice, right? So okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go with business because I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. So I'm not gonna tell nobody to go to college because I hated going to school. Just don't get it twisted. Like this shit ain't sweet. That's what I'm gonna say. Like it ain't sweet. It's not for the weak, and it's not glitz and glam. It's not peaches and cream every day. Probably no day. You know what I mean? So you gotta have a different kind of mentality to be an entrepreneur. And some people are not meant to be entrepreneurs, and that's why I said that. It's fun. Everybody say if everybody was business owners, who's gonna run the fucking world?
That's true.
Who's gonna make sure we got food, or we need to get groceries, or if we want to stop and get McDonald's, who's gonna be working if we are bosses?
That's a fact.
So I say that to say it's cool being in business, but it's just not for everybody. Just make sure don't let nobody bribe you to do nothing you don't want to do. A lot of people pop shit on Instagram like be an entrepreneur and own your own business, but you got to be able to rock out and sustain when shit get tough. And that's where a lot of people fail when it come to business. They don't know how to sustain. So if you know that you ain't that hustle and you ain't got that get up and go get your degree. Go become that lawyer. Go become that accountant. Go become that police officer. And don't let nobody tell you nothing otherwise. Stand on it.
I just had that conversation literally yesterday because somebody asked me, they was talking about college, and I was like, I have a degree, but I wouldn't tell someone to automatically put themselves in debt, right?
Facts.
Because, number one, they're not teaching you how to get out of debt.
Hello?
So that's the number one thing. And people don't understand it's almost similar to the NBA to me because it's like going out and getting a job in the corporate world. You got people from all over the U.S., not the U.S., the world, who coming into the U.S., who have these jobs, and they not making you see these numbers is very low. Fact. So for this one position that you're applying for, it's not that It's not available. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I say to people, I'm not telling them to go to college. What I will do is I'm gonna give you the breakdown, the whole breakdown of what's gonna happen or what could happen. I'm not telling you what you're gonna experience, but I'm gonna tell you what you should go through, like from financial aid to making sure you tied in and everything, and get these scholarships and all of that.
Right.
If you're gonna take this, and if you do go to college, make sure you got an intern lined up already so you can already go into it and understand that you can be able to make money already.
Fact.
Otherwise, you're gonna put yourself in a hole because the college game is not designed for you to win. You get what I'm saying?
Man.
If you don't take that route, yeah.
And you know what they said? You know what I read one day? It was I think it was a book or something. I don't remember, but it said the government will give you $100,000 for college. They'll put you in $100,000 worth of debt in college, but won't give you the same $100,000 to go start your business. Because either way, I got to pay it back. So what makes a difference on where it go to? Whether it go to college or whether it goes to my business that I want to start. Maybe I do want to be an artist. Maybe I do want to be a rapper. I need to pay for my studio time. So why you want to put that same $100,000 into my business? Because I got to pay you back anyway.
Since we on...
Like, let's talk about it, you know? So I ain't the type to say go flock to college.
Since we on business credit, and we like to put people on game around here, no matter of fact, I'm tripping. We're going to get back to that. I got to finish this trivia. Master leasing versus corporate leasing.
Master leasing versus corporate leasing. So the thing is, right, master leasing could be an avenue for corporate leasing. So you can have let's do this. Let's say master leasing versus corporate housing.
Okay.
And I would go with corporate housing. The thing with corporate housing is, though, you got to have 2 years of Dun & Bradstreet history. And you got to have rental experience up under your LLC in order for you to become a corporate housing company. The thing with the corporate housing company is they have way more benefits. It runs different. People are more prone to staying with them. So, like, when your profile is set up as a business rather than Alexia Wright, and I got a picture of me and my daughter on my profile photo, it's going to be different than my Alexia Wright Inc. and it's my logo.
Gotcha.
It's going to be totally different. So I would definitely say corporate housing.
Okay. Cooking versus going to a restaurant. I got it. I had to throw that in there because
watching my Instagram. What's my favorite restaurant?
I'll be working, so they did not show me that part, but I do see you out. I haven't seen your favorite one, but I have seen you out several times, so I had to ask that question.
Oh, that's hard, y'all. Oh, that's hard. Okay, cooking.
Lucy's? Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. I see. It's the accent, y'all. I know what it is, y'all. It's Houston's. You know what I'm saying? Houston's.
You know what?
Is she greedy? Is she greedy at Houston's?
No.
No, chill. Okay. Moderation.
I love cooking. I really love cooking, but I really love a vibe. I live for a restaurant vibe. Like, that's a good question. I'm going to the restaurant. I ain't gotta cook either. I'm going to the restaurant and I ain't gotta pay for it. I'm going to the restaurant.
Look, I ain't mad at you. Everybody gotta live the life that they want to live. Rent versus own.
Own.
And why is that?
I own a rental property, but I live in a condo and I pay rent at the condo. I think owning, you just get to build equity. Like, it's better. It's just better. It's something that you own. It's something you can say is yours. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Like, it'd be a lot of stuff I want to do in my condo, but I can't. So I hope they do start selling them. I'm not ready to move right now. And there's so much stuff going on in the world. We were just talking about that while we were on the way here. Just, buying a townhouse. And for security purposes, like, we just want to stay in our condo. So overall, though, I would definitely say own.
That's what I like to hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just had to break the ice a little bit. Okay. Did a little bit more research. During the pandemic, you saw your occupancy go down to about 10%, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Me knowing who you are and seeing how you move, right? Your occupancy jumped back up from 85 to 90%, right?
Right.
So I want to know, what strategic ways did you maneuver to not fail? Because, like we saw a lot of businesses fail. What did you do to actually make your business continue to thrive?
Stay consistent. I stay consistent. there was a lot of hosts that flocked off the platform, and it was easy because people weren't able to pay the units rents. It was a lot of people I knew that was like, you know what, I can't do this no more. A lot of my students, a lot of my mentees, I felt like God had another plan for me. I was like, I made it this far. God ain't gonna take me out right here. You know what I'm saying? So I was still. I didn't go nowhere during the pandemic, and I was chilling. Like I didn't have to do nothing. Like my boyfriend took care of me.
I was chilling, living life.
We was chilling. Like it was a hiccup for me, but like I was still. And I believe in God so much. Like I was reading my Bible all the time. Like I was chilling, and I made it through the pandemic. So now I say in the most humble way. It's nothing nobody can tell me about this business. To go from 90% to 10%.
Humbly speaking.
Nothing nobody could tell me. You know what I mean? Like no mentor, no mentee, no nobody. Because there's a lot of people I know for a fact y'all were mentors before it started, but y'all ain't come out a mentor. Y'all into something else. So.
Let me ask you another question. The Airbnb game, I was sitting here and I'm looking at the news and they like, I don't pay attention to the news because they always
negative.
It's something behind it as to why you telling me this. So
right.
I'm like, dang, this possibly could hurt her. They were saying you only could have 2 Airbnbs. And I'm like, yo, at the time I saw it was 30 plus. And I'm like, yo, that's going to affect her. Like, is that rule in effect? And how are you continuously trying to be innovative to make sure you don't fail and not succeed?
So, for one, my first logic was, again, God ain't going to do this to me. Like, that was my first thought process. Like, I made it through COVID, and it ain't nothing else they can do to me. You know what I mean? Like, my faith is on a whole nother level, for one. So let me start with God, okay? For two, Atlanta put out this ordinance. They talked about this March last year. They said it will go into effect April 1st, 2022. Never did. They said it will go into effect June 1st, 2022. Never did. Then they extended it again to September. So what that let me know was y'all ain't had y'all shit together before y'all came out with this ordinance. If for one, it's a money thing, cause they making hella money off them permits. I know they done made $1 million just off permits. The permits are $150 per person.
Is that to get on Airbnb, or is that just to sell and become on Airbnb?
No, that's just to get your permit to run a short-term rental.
Sheesh,
so it's not. So let me correct you. It's not just Airbnb. It's VRBO too.
Okay.
So it's the short-term rental business.
Okay.
The media has made Airbnb sour to the public, so they use Airbnb because it's the most established platform, which is what I said. So it's not just Airbnb. It's VRBO, HomeAway, FlipKey, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, whoever you want to list on. Is if you're running a short-term rental in the city of Atlanta, they are saying that you got to have this ordinance. So I know they don't make probably over $1.5 million off of permits alone. You know what I mean? So for two, it's a money thing. And for three, they don't have the manpower to create this enforcement plan that they want. So when they released this ordinance, the news scrambled, hosts scrambled, the world scrambled. People started letting go of leases, doing all kind of stuff. I wasn't doing none of that.
Superhost, you sitting still.
Huh? Yes, I was chilling. And then my boyfriend, his brother works at City Hall. So, like, I'm like, look, we need to figure something out. Like,
so
we need to figure something out.
Info as to, not necessarily info, but, understanding what the next wave is about to be.
Correct.
Okay.
Because ultimately, I need to know. Because I got people following me. So, when they put out this ordinance, my sales trumped. Luckily, I have other businesses, and I have a supportive partner to where I'm not tripping on nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
I see why you're not tripping on nothing, right? If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me verbatim now, but you said if I can't live a year from today,
I got a problem.
Okay.
So, problem.
Okay. And where did you get that from?
COVID. For real, like, COVID really enforced that for me because anything could happen. So, like, y'all don't get tired of me talking about my boyfriend.
No, we not. No. That's what I put it out there so they'll know what's going on. And this is why I saw what you did. So it's like, I reached out to you like, would you
Yes.
do this? Because I saw you and I was like, yo, for someone to do that at a young age, we don't see that. We don't see
Right.
man being uplifted. So I wanted to bring you in here so we can talk about that. So don't feel bad about talking about your man. You're
Okay, so the thing was, like, the way I seen him run his businesses, he was preventative of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I work in chaos. I'm a chaotic person, and I know that about me. So he knows that as soon as I got 15 things on my to-do list, they all gonna get done. But they might take me 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I know that about me, though. You know, like, I've learned my work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
I work for myself. I don't have the answer to nobody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool with my work ethic. I'm working on it because we be beefing about that. But I'm working on it. But he's preventative with a lot of stuff that he do. Like, he not gonna let nothing slip. He not gonna let nothing fall. It's so simplistic to where it's like, look, Costco.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a condo. We don't got nowhere to put all these paper towels, all this tissue, all these cups, all these plates, all this laundry detergent. He gonna go stock up for the whole year. One time. I'm like, babe, where we gonna put this stuff at, bro? Like, where we gonna put this stuff at? So it was no, seriously, like I wanted to say that because it was something that small, like, that I learned just from that.
Is it the business mindset? Because you got to think, you put him, well, let me not say you put him, through y'all discussing things together.
Mm-hmm.
This mindset is business now. So now business, wholesale, you get a lot at one time. It's cheaper, you feel me? Is that his...
No, he's just like, I don't have time to run out. That was my
Okay.
logic behind what I said. He don't got time to run out.
Okay.
So, like, I say that to say, with the way that he was moving his business, like, he patient, he gonna think about it. So, like, when just from watching him for so long, like, I implement the things that he do in his personal life in my business,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about it because that's where I got it from. Like, I can't say Chick-fil-A taught me that. I didn't have to go through certain trials and tribulations to learn. When you're an entrepreneur, that shit is more than just making money. Like, your mind gotta be. You gotta know business skills. You gotta have interpersonal skills. You gotta know how to communicate. You gotta be patient. My business didn't kick off in the first year. In the first 2 years. You know what I mean? So like I was saying that to say, like, those are the things that I seen. So I used them in my business. Like, okay, Lexi, like, you know what? Just be patient with this, or you know what? Like, you need to stack he used to tell me, like, you need to keep at least ABC in the bank. Like, I was making so much money to where I made $1 million at 23.
Hold on. You can't just say that. Hold on. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, so my first $1 million I made at 23 years old. At 23 years old, and that was the first year that we had met. So like, I was running through money. I didn't save nothing. And I'm telling y'all this because it's the truth. Like, I didn't save nothing. I didn't have nothing established for real. I was young.
Did you understand credit at the time?
I did. I had already had a credit repair company. My credit was fine.
Were you understanding the aspect of liquidating, even though you were spending it? Did you understand it?
I didn't.
Okay.
I hadn't even got there. And I'm not even a flashy person. You know what I mean? Like, I just was blunt. I'm the type of person, like, I want to, you know what? I like a luxury lifestyle. Like, I need my housekeepers here every week. I want my driver I don't care if I'm going to the grocery store, call my driver. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. So, not literally, but like, that's me. Like, I'd be like, babe, just call the driver. Like, anywhere we go, like, just call the driver. That's what I like. You know, like, I want a nice car. Like, I just like nice stuff. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that's that.
$1 million at 23. Can I ask you a question?
And I blew through that shit.
How did that feel, right? From having it, and you say you blew it, right? How did that make you feel?
I felt so bad. Like, now I feel bad. Because if you give me $1 million again, I'm going to know what to do with it. But I feel like that was God to me, because God said, I gave it to you and I took it away. And one thing about me, I never lost my faith in God. So God said, I'll give it to you again in tenfold, you know? So at the time I didn't feel away, because I didn't know I blew through it until recently. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about having nothing just stacked up. Like, if I make $1 million, okay, bet I need to have 100,000 stacked up. Now, when we got together, we started getting stocks. Like, and this is where the foundation came in my life that you were talking about before. The nigga, listen, like, if I gotta I gotta make the money, and I gotta make it do what it do too. Like, help me help you. and I wasn't getting it. So I didn't have no. My mom worked. My dad, me and my dad, we didn't really talk about business that often then. People didn't even know that my money was like that then, because I wasn't too heavy on social media for real. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't that girl that's running around telling people I made $1 million. Nobody knew until I did an interview.
That is crazy.
And he knew. Like the night that I hit the $1 million mark, I cried. It was December 19th. It was about 8:30 p.m.
Is that accumulation in 1 year of $1 million, or is that your from 2017 going all the way up to that?
That was the $1 million. That was the $1 million mark for that year.
And how long did it take in that year? What month?
It was December.
The whole year. Okay,
the
12
whole year.
months. That's great.
So it was December. It was December 19th. It was about 8:30. I was on 39 on my rooftop in my condo.
Gotta
Remember,
give you
like
your
it was
flowers while
yesterday?
you're here. That is crazy. Look, we haven't had $1 million in here. Look, I don't even think we had 1,000 in here. But, yeah.
Stop playing.
Look, man. So now that you say you did not know about credit, how are you finding ways to expand your business times 10? Because now that you understand business credit, I did my research, you know about the Experian, the Paydex,
yes.
You know about the Duns and Brad. So
yes.
You know about credit. So how
right.
are you utilizing credit now to expand your business into different avenues?
So then I knew about credit, but I was not using credit to scale. Mm-hmm. Let's say that. I was using my own money. So the credit cards and stuff, they're cool. But so like with the businesses that we have now, most of them are kind of credit. Well, the Sprinter that we have, we paid cash with that. But the thing with the Sprinter was, it was like a quick thing. So my uncle called me. My uncle said, niece, I got one of my homeboys got a Sprinter he's selling. Mm-hmm. I was like, but he had already been talking about getting a party bus. So I was like, but my uncle said he got a friend who got a Sprinter. I was like, you want to go see it? He was like, yeah, set it up. We literally went and seen it so this was 2021. This was last year, right? This was 2020. This was a day before we went out of town. I booked him a trip to go out of town we were gone for 18 days. And the day before we left, we bought the Sprinter. We went and looked at the Sprinter in December. We bought the Sprinter January 7th. We bought it on the day of his birthday. It was not a birthday gift. It just so happened to be on his birthday. And we bought the Sprinter with cash. So people be telling, our friends, we have, really great friends, mm-hmm. They talk about credit with us, and they're like, why y'all didn't buy that with, the bank's money? Mm-hmm. And we're like, we didn't want to let it go, and we had the money. So if we were to do it again, we would do it with credit, So then that was just a quick little business move that we made, and that's really good. We don't regret it, because we literally made our money back in less than a year. We made our money back from our party business in less than a year. So everything that we do now is all profit. People don't talk about that part. So they be getting loans for 5 and 6 years, and they paying on the loan for 5 or 6 mm-hmm. years. Suppose that your business don't make no money. Mm-hmm. For 3 months because it's slow. You still got to pay them folks they car note, the truck note, your commercial note, whatever. And you still got to pay insurance. You got to pay insurance anyway.
And from my understanding, business credit, when you do it, it's way differently than personal credit as far as paying back in the utilization, right?
So you gotta pay it back on the terms that they agreed for mm-hmm. you to pay it back. The utilization, no, it's not the same with your personal. It's not the same. So a lot of businesses, honestly, but aside from credit cards, line of credit, saying advances, a lot of people are getting advances now. Mm-hmm. They just say they give you $3,000, they just want you to pay back $4,500 in this amount of time. So they taking something out your account every single day. Whatever you agree to, they might say, okay, look, as long as you can pay $60 every day, we can take this advance. Okay. You can have this advance.
Interesting.
So yeah, business is definitely different than personal for sure.
Okay. I want to let the people know what you really got going on too. So the package deals that you have, as far as people understanding Airbnb, can you explain?
My course?
Mm-hmm.
So when I leave here at 7 o'clock, I have a 4-week live mentorship. This is going to be my first live mentorship. It starts at 7 p.m. this evening, and basically, that's me walking you through from A to Z exactly how to get into the Airbnb industry. So we're going to be going live twice a week for a month. And you guys will be able to ask me questions. Like, it's a no-brainer.
And how can they gain access to this? Is this something they can purchase? Is it something they find on your
It's
website?
in my link. The link is in my bio right now. So, so the class starts this evening at 7. So the link is in my bio right now. Aside from my 4-week live mentorship, my meet and greet, which is they actually get to come to Atlanta. We're at one of the top-rated mansions in Atlanta for breakfast buffet, and then I take them on our Sprinter to my top 5 units here in Atlanta. So we'll go visit my top 5 units, and then we'll go by the storage. So the storage is the property management and housekeeping storage. So there we just have we keep all of everything that we do for day to day in that space. So they'll be able to see exactly how I'm managing. And then once we leave there, we go back for dinner. We have a little Starbucks run in the middle, but once we leave the storage, we'll just go back to the mansion, and then we'll have dinner, and that is where we just kind of vibe. And then after the dinner, it's going to be a pool party and an open bar. So that is September 11th.
September 11th.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the one you were having in July?
That's the one I was having in July. Okay. Right.
And you're so innovative. You made it to where people, because it's hard to trust Black people, right?
That's true.
Unfortunately. And unfortunately, but fortunately, you found a way to, hey, this is still going on. You get what I'm saying? In September, how did you still consistently get the people to be like, yo, this still going on in September, versus them feeling like, oh, she's scamming me? You get what I'm saying?
People trust me, and I'm the type of person, like, my name means everything to me. Like, my name means the world to me. Like, and it's not even what people think of me. It's my brand. My brand is my name. When people talk about Airbnb, they mention Alexia Wright. They don't mention Master and B&B. They mention my name. So I've seen some people really get taken out just from being on social media, the internet. I've seen businesses get swiped just from one person saying that they got scammed. One person. All it takes is one person. This one person can create a whole tribe against you. There was this lady who I used to do credit with, and it was one girl. She didn't get the service that she was supposed to get, and she just didn't get it in the time frame. The lady never said she wasn't gonna get it. She just didn't get it in the time frame that she wanted to get it in, right? And she went on Instagram and she aired this lady out.
On Clubhouse.
Said
it aired out on Clubhouse too.
Yes, everywhere. Like, she was everywhere. Facebook, you name it, she was there. And she's no longer on social. She can never have another social media account again. Do I know what all of her clients came from social media. I have no clue what this lady is doing. I seen her get swiped out like this. You know what I mean? So Black people are easy. They do stuff for money. One thing about me, I don't care about no money. Like, if my one-on-ones are $10,000, people in my DM, I can go to my DMs right now. It's probably 20 people in there want to pay $10,000. I decline that shit every day. Every day. If I don't got time for it, or if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care how much money it is. And that's the mindset people don't have. They go after money so much that they get caught up in money. And it brings corruption, for real.
That's true.
It really brings corruption.
That is very true.
That is how I keep my name the way it's supposed to be. I'll give you a refund real quick before you give me a headache. Real quick. So that is how I stay on my toes when it comes to not worried about, like, not having that type of clientele. And I like dealing with a certain amount of people at a time. I'm not finna be talking to 20 different people, not one-on-one. Because my one-on-ones can call my personal line. They text my personal line. I don't got time to be talking to 20 people at one time.
I feel that.
I got a child. I got other businesses. I got a man. I don't got time to talk to y'all.
I know, look, y'all, I'm going to tell you, I did something wrong. Y'all know I work every single day. So I text her on Father's I text on Father's Day. I'm not thinking. I don't have no kids, so I'm literally not thinking. And I could just read the text message like, I know he ain't texting me while it's a holiday. Y'all, I went ghost for a whole month. I went ghost for a whole month. I felt so bad. Like, dang, I know she looking at me like, I ain't here to do no business today. Like,
you did. It wasn't like that. We were fishing, so we were on the dock, and I'm extremely afraid of water. So, like, I was like, look, I'm going to call you back because today is Father's Day. We can talk about this on another day. It wasn't like that, though.
I was like, dang, I feel bad. I'm telling you, I went ghost. I was like, I ain't even saying nothing. I ain't liking no photos. I just need her to not remember that I did that.
It's okay. Y'all, DJ Ray, he DJ for, this is was the DJ for your birthday party. Yeah, so it was only right that I came and did it for him. Yeah, it was only right that I came and did it for him.
My bad on that. Look, the people want to know what's next for you. You have Airbnbs. You're into real estate. You have y'all have moving company. We got to talk about this too. This trucking company. Let's not say moving company. Trucking company.
Please don't say no moving company.
I don't like belittling people over here. We got big things going on over here. You know what I'm saying? Oh nah, that ain't what's going on over here. So it's a trucking company. Y'all may have to cut that out. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about the press box, the Atlanta press box.
Tell me about it. What's that?
The Hawks. Is that what?
Oh, okay.
So,
concert club.
Concert. There. See, I be getting stuff wrong. See, that's why people here you can't put stuff in words in people's mouth. So, how did y'all go about doing that? So the people who traveling around the world and they want to come to Atlanta, but they want to have a dope experience. Can you tell us about that and then explain how they can go about getting in contact with you?
So our goal ultimately is to have a full-blown concierge company, and whatever that consists of is what we be on to, right? So we got the Airbnb, so we got somewhere for you to sleep. We got Escalades and we got Sprinters, so we got something for you, a transportation for you to use if you come into town. And then we got entertainment. So we mastered all three things that you need here in Atlanta. So with the concert club seats, that was his idea. You know, like we always do everything I want to do. Like any kind of business thing, he'd be like, okay, fine, we'll start it. And this was his gig. So he got linked up with a rep at the Hawks. No, I think we did the Falcons first. The Falcons we got two concert club. We got two club seats for the Falcons. And then the season, we did that at the top of the year. The season doesn't start until August though. So in the minutes, they try to put you with the other people for the other kind of sports, baseball, basketball. Like, oh yeah, you can reach out to the Hawks rep too if you want to get Hawks seats. Yes, definitely shout out to Tyler. So he was like, the guy was like, Philip was like, yeah, I know. I think Jag asked about if he knew somebody at the Hawks because he was like, we could get Hawks too. And I'm like, we just got the Falcons. Like, we need to wait until next year. So he was like, we ended up talking to Tyler, and Tyler was like, he had a concert club seat. So we got 4 concert club box seats for the Hawks. And then it's concert club. So it's not just the games. It's all the concerts too. So comedy shows, Burna Boy's coming. Those are already sold. Kevin Hart's coming. Mary J. Blige coming. The City Girls came.
Lil Baby and Chris Brown's that at the Hawks?
No, that's at the Lakewood Amphitheater.
Okay.
I don't know why they didn't do it at the State Farm Arena. Not for them anyway. I still talk about that to this day. I don't know why they did it at the amphitheater. But so yeah, we got 4 concert club seats there. And we pretty much, it's a word of mouth thing. We do list them on the platform, the Hawks platform, the Ticketmaster. And we got Atlanta United. He did that. So one day he was like, I got something for you. And I was like, what? Like, don't tell me you got a surprise for me if you're not gonna tell me. So weeks come by and I had fucking forgot about it. You know what I mean? So one day he was like, just put on some white pants and he was like a black shirt and some tennis shoes because we going on a date. I was like, where the fuck? Normally he'll be like, we going to dinner or something, like to my favorite restaurant or something. So he was like, put on some red, black, and white shoes. I'm like, we finna go jumping somewhere? Like,
she said jump.
I was like, where we going? So we get downstairs and our driver was outside and he had Atlanta United jerseys and he had a scarf. And that's when he just told me that he had got the Atlanta United seat. So we got the Hawks, we got the Falcons, and we got Atlanta United. I took him to the World Series, last year? And after we left the World Series, we just knew those Braves tickets was going to be ridiculous after they won. So we never even looked into the Braves, but we definitely need to.
Y'all is doing big things. I'm talking about big things, like real big things together.
Thank you.
This will be aired out a lot. I'm talking about relationship stuff so people can see that we got to come together. Like,
facts.
You get what I'm saying? Because when 2 people can come together and make something work, it makes it 10 times easier in my opinion. You get what I'm saying?
It is easier.
We want to know what's next for y'all. Are you into NFTs? Are you strategizing to figure out how y'all can maneuver in the metaverse? What's next for y'all? Are y'all, because technology changes the world and you see that. So you being innovative, what's next for y'all? Is it way more units? Is it going into real estate as far as having the whole apartment complex, not something from there.
Funny.
You get what I'm saying? Units.
Yeah.
I did see you say something about 50 units.
Yes. That's exactly
Okay.
what's that. So in August, I'm going back to get my general contracting license. So he wants to open up a barbershop, and I'm not gonna tell y'all I'm not gonna spill the beans.
No, we
That's
can't do that.
his business. But he wants to open up a barbershop, but it's a really dope concept to it. So remember when I said this, because when they open, I'm gonna come into this interview, okay? So he wants to do the barbershop, but we want to get into that other side of real estate. So it's real estate to put on Airbnb. So buying real estate, it's not necessarily buying, it's just buying and holding. That's what we want to get into. So I'm going to go back to school in August. And this is the first time I've even told y'all on Instagram. I've told anybody besides my family that I'm going to go back to school in August to get my general contractor license. And from there, it's up. Like, we're going to be unstoppable. We have the necessary resources. We have the mindset. And we have the cash flow. So it's literally going to be up. I think real estate is, for me, real estate is the ultimate goal to becoming successful, to becoming rich. Let me say that. Wealthy, not rich. I take away rich, wealthy. It's real estate. There's the most wealthiest people are in real estate. Like these buildings and stuff y'all see, like it's real estate. The house that we're in is real estate. So that is what's next. We are always acquiring more units. So that is always a thing for sure. It's okay.
And I want to know. I'm sorry, dang.
Okay.
But besides doing getting into more units, what else are y'all trying to get into that y'all are gonna build together as units? And like the ultimate goal, like it don't have to be right now, because
Yes.
that's a short-term goal. I want to know a long-term goal, because people gotta understand things don't happen overnight, right?
Facts.
So a long-term goal means you still gotta be with this person down the line. So what is something that y'all have came up with together that you see yourself doing long-term?
So for one thing about us together, we keep God first. We wake up before we touch our phones, before we do anything, we pray. We not texting nobody, we not calling nobody, no nothing. Like nothing until we pray. So for one, we keep God first. Let me say that. And then we are right now, our focus is building our fleet. So with the Sprinter is getting Escalades. That is also a really great business, y'all. Is getting into the transportation business.
You mean like downtown, like as far as people needing rides around, like Uber XL, all of that, or what do you mean by transportation?
No, the luxury side.
Gotcha.
So you got to have a 4-hour minimum, or the executive for the Hawks need to be picked up and taken to dinner with his wife and taken back home, or
Can I just buy Escalade and hit up the Hawks? Like
no, of course that comes with relationships,
Okay.
but we've met a lot of people. So like we even have connects at the private airport. They call us when they need, VIP clients transported. So the thing about the industry is you grow in it based on your network, and they say your network is your net worth anyway. So no, you just can't do that. But we know that people always need transportation. People need to be taken to doctor appointments. Kids need to be picked up from the airport sometimes and taken home. Like you always see people riding around. Most of those people who do like Uber and Lyft, it's their truck. So for us, we have drivers. They dress in all black. They wear suits, and it's luxury and it's top tier, nothing less. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You started your own not clothing line, your own line in Airbnb. You came with pillowcases and all of that.
Yeah, you've been doing your research. That was a minute ago. Dang, I didn't realize I did so much until we literally sitting here talking about it. So last year, I'm a creative. So I'm always looking for ways to grow. If it's in my business, if it's something new, but I'm not all over the place. You know what I mean? So like I'm in real estate. I'm not going to go start selling hair. I'm not going to go start doing lashes.
Gotcha.
So I'm innovative in what I do. So like with my meet and greet, that came about. We was sitting in the car one day. I think I was just chilling. Maybe I think I was reading a book or something. We was on the way home, and I was like, babe, I want to do this. And I think like to where all my students come here. We take them to the units, and then we could just go back and eat dinner. And that's exactly what I did. That came from just a pure thought in the car. I didn't write nothing down. I didn't nothing. I texted my designer. She made me a flyer and I posted it. It sold out 2 times. I'm talking about 25 people at $3,500. Right around, babe. 25 people at every single time. So
You still doing that now?
it's in September. I try to do only one a year. The last one I think I did 2 in 1 year. So now I try to keep it exclusive and I just do 1 a year. What was I saying before that? I was talking about something. Innovating. Yeah. I was with the transportation company. We are just wanting to grow. That's what I think. What's next? Is that it? I think that's what we're focusing on right now is growing the fleet, just growing our hospitality company as it is. Because when you think about it, everything goes up under this one company, this one umbrella. So he has his businesses. It's Jaguar Inc. and mine is Alexia Wright Inc. And then we have J&A Global Solutions. So he got his businesses, I have mine, and then we have ours together. So we are just the Airbnbs, the company, the transportation company, and then the seats, the entertainment. You can't lose. Like, I want to grow that so big to where if you can't run around a track without stopping, you gonna stop to us 3-4 times. You're not going nowhere. You gonna run. You gonna see us.
One stop shop.
You gonna see us. So that's the goal, and luckily it's all within the same, circle. So we're not all over the place.
I want to congratulate y'all. Number
Thank
one,
you.
again, you feel me, for what y'all doing in society, and it needs to be recognized on a bigger scale.
Thank you.
And I want to appreciate you for coming in today. I know you got something to do at 7, and traffic in Atlanta is crazy. Like crazy. So I want to give you enough time to go back and do what you got to do and chill, right? But before you leave, if somebody came up to you and they was going through something, right? Okay. And they was trying to find a way through life, give them some word of advice that you would tell them.
That's a good question. Coming from me, I would just say, y'all know me. Pray. I can't stress that enough. I just can't. When you just put all your faith into God and you believe in God, like, He'll help you figure it out. Pray and ask for direction. God, what's my purpose in life? My purpose is wherever you want me to be. Your purpose is my purpose. That's literally what I live by. People, I'm not this religious person, don't get me wrong, but that is, if we talking about what I would tell somebody, that's number one. Because there's been a lot of things that I wanted to do that God said, I don't want you to do that. And He took me away from it. Or he steered me in another direction. So, and I go with that. So I could easily say, oh, I want to be a hairstylist. I might not never succeed in that field. Maybe God didn't want it for me. So a lot of people get discouraged and they feel like they're failing because they're trying to do it on their time. And everybody don't believe in God. But you ask me what I would tell somebody. If you don't believe in God, we don't got much to talk about. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And then 2 is, you just got to be a hustler. Like, it just, you got to want to do it. You got to have some get up and go. You got, especially with the world that we in right now, shit is crazy. It's that people saying it's not a crisis, people saying it is. Do I feel like we are in a crisis? Yes, I do. I feel like we are in a crisis right now.
Recession coming.
No, seriously. So figure it out. Like, figure out something that you want to do. And also, I want to say, be careful with getting into these mentorships and these classes and these big influential events. Be careful. You know what I mean? I say that to say, y'all can get the education, but y'all need to know how to execute. Education is nothing if you have no execution plan. It's nothing. So when you get the education, when you join these mentorships, when you get these classes and go to these webinars and you going to all these seminars, do something with that information. The shit gonna sit in your book and it's gonna collect dust. Do something with it. And guess what? It's okay to fail. You know what? I don't feel like nothing's a failure to me. Everything is a lesson. Ain't nothing I do I have failed at. I just learned my lesson at it. So you whatever you try the first 3 times might not work. Keep going. Stay consistent. The fourth thing you try might be your niche. I tried lingerie. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I wanted to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I started my credit company. I got into real estate, and now look, I'm over here I'm this big Airbnb person. None of those things I tried before work. And people think it's so belittled because I was young. But that's really how I made my money. Like, I was really trying to figure it out. I took a lot of losses. I lost a lot of money. I also made a lot of money. But I was in the phase of figuring it out. So I say that to say you might not succeed at your first 2 business endeavors. That third one, you might catch your $1 million, $2 million. You don't know. So just stay consistent and keep going. Like that is what I give. That's the advice that I'm gonna give to whoever listening.
I have not failed. It's the method that I chose. So find another solution. You get what I'm saying?
I like that.
Look, I appreciate you for coming in, Alexia Wright.
You.
We have been on Diverse Hits Radio this whole time. Look, I told y'all this is the Mind Your Business section where we dig all up in the business that pays. So you get what I'm saying? So look, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. Look, man, this is Diverse Hits Radio. I am the world's most diverse DJ. If you do not know, you got to do some more research. You get what I'm saying? Look, man, once again, we appreciate you for coming in.
You're welcome.
I wish you nothing but more success, more money, more revenue. And, you know what I'm saying, more consistency and blessings in your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You.
Hey, we appreciate you for coming in. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you, Diverse Hits Radio. Thank you, TikTok, for joining us. You heard we about this thing.